Hey everybody, have you ever wondered if these Dustopper Cyclonic Dust Collection lids are any good? Or maybe you've wondered if they would be a useful addition to your shop? Well, today I'm going to give this thing a really good test, so stick around. It's going to be fun. My name is James, and this is Homestyle Woodcrafts. This little experiment is going to have two parts. The first is an experiment that I would consider sort of normal shop conditions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bucket right here. It's, I don't know, a 3 or 4 gallon bucket. I'm going to dump about half of it on my shop floor and then vacuum it up. Kind of, you know, stuff we normally do in a workshop. And then we'll see how that works. And then the second one with the remaining stuff is I'm going to just go after it. I'm going to get super aggressive with vacuuming it up and see if we overwhelm the Dustopper. So that should be interesting. So hang on, here we go. Okay, real quick, let me explain how this is going to work. The shop vac is connected to the Dustopper via a hose to the top of the Dustopper. Then you put your dust collection hose here. At the end of that, you suck up your sawdust. The sawdust comes up the hose, gets swirled around like a tornado, gets dropped into the bottom of the bucket, and then the mostly clean air goes to the filter in the shop vac. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to protect that filter, and so that you don't have to keep cleaning it or replacing it. Before we get into the experiment, I just want to show you that the bucket the dust is supposed to go into is empty, and so is the shop vac. One more thing. I'm going to be working in an enclosed space with lots of dust. So I'm going to be wearing my dust mask, and I'm going to be running my shop vac, so I'm going to be wearing hearing protection. I encourage you to always take appropriate safety precautions when you're working in your shop. Okay, now I'm going to open up this bucket here to see if there's any sawdust in there. And then I will open up the shop vac to see what's in there. Okay, we have sawdust. So it did collect sawdust. Here's the shop vac. Yeah, it's dusty. You know, there's dust in here. But the Dustopper, I think, did its job. And I have to say that that's pretty typical of my experience with the Dustopper, is that almost all the dust is collected in the bucket before it ever reaches the shop vac. So good job, Dustopper. I've got to say that Dustopper is not a sponsor. I purchased this with my own money because I wanted it for my shop, and I thought I'd do a review. Now let's do the second one, where we really go to town and get really aggressive. Is it possible to overwhelm the Dustopper? We'll see. Okay, let's see how the Dustopper did under those circumstances. Actually, did pretty good. So you can see that there is some dust in there. So we found when I got really aggressive, it performed a little worse. But I have to say my expectations are met, and I'm very happy with it, actually. I think that the Dustopper has some pros and cons. The pros are, well, it works, as I just demonstrated, and that's been my experience, and I'm very happy with it. It is low profile. You know, it doesn't sit tall on the bucket, and that's kind of what drew me to it at first. And also, it's inexpensive. I think I paid around 40 bucks for it. Now, this is available at the Big Orange store. You can also get it at Amazon. I'll put some links below in the description, okay? And there's a big con, and it even happened while I was doing this experiment, and that the thing is top heavy and tips over all the time. And so you either have to leave it in one place, which is normally what I do, or you've got to figure out some sort of cart. You know, I think that's a pretty common observation about the dust topper. But the dust topper comes on, this is what the box looks like. If this is something you're interested in, you can find it near the shop vacs. Here's the low profile lid. It also comes with these two 90-degree elbows and a hose that goes between the shop vac and the dust topper. Overall, I'm very pleased. I'd love it if you hung around and watched this video up here. It's a good one. Thanks for watching.